Hello, and welcome to Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from around the region and beyond.
We'll also look at college football across the nation and check out the latest happenings in all pro sports. I'm Morgan Pagel.
And I'm Madison Letterman. This is EU Sports Update. Thanks for joining us on Sports Update. Dee Dee Little has the day off, so it's just me and Morgan today.
However, we have the latest updates on Evangel sports, and later, Madison will be talking with Evangel's head football coach, Chuck Hepola, about the start of the season. But first, let's talk football. The Evangel Crusader football team is continuing to make preparations for their modified 2020 season opener. This team is coming off of 3 straight conference championship appearances, and helping lead the way for the 2020 campaign will be a host of players who have extensive experience on the field for the Crusaders. Standout players Zeke Kuwaya, Darius Lee, and Sam Buckner will be looking to make big plays, while all-conference lineman DJ Johnson and Pierce Smith will shore up the offensive front. Will Anoy, Will Boswell, Anthony Levierfam, and Cole Orchard will help lead the way for the Crusaders on the defensive side. All of these players, along with the rest of the team, will kick off their season this Saturday on the road at Culver Stockton. Kickoff is scheduled for 12 noon. Be sure to tune in.
Our men's soccer team fought hard this past weekend against Central Baptist, but ended up losing with a final score of 2-1. Toby Mustafa made Evangel's only goal for the night, while Anthony Morales had 5 saves off 7 shots in the goal. The Crusaders will play at Evangel tonight, the 15th at 7:30 against Williams Baptist. Evangel's women's soccer team had an amazing win over Central Baptist, finishing the game 7-0. The team put up an amazing defense, not allowing the Mustangs to get 1 shot off the entire game. The Crusaders will take on the Williams Baptist at home with kickoff starting at 5:30 p.m.
The Evangel Crusader volleyball team opened its 2020 season in red-hot fashion as they swept the competition in the Evangel Classic this past weekend. The Crusaders started the weekend with a straight-set victory over the conference opponent, William Penn. The hot start continued into Saturday morning as the Crusaders defeated the St. Louis College of Pharmacy in 5 sets and finished off the weekend with a straight-set victory over Central Baptist Saturday afternoon. Daisy Eklund and Tori Lowry each recorded double-digit kills in all 3 victories, while All-American junior Aaron Russell received Conference Player of the Week honors for her performance over the weekend. The Crusaders' next matchup will be tonight at 7 p.m. against conference opponent Baker University. Coming up later, we'll be checking some of the college games that were played this past weekend. And in just a few, Madison will be here with Evangel's head football coach, Chuck Hepola, who will tell us about the beginning of the football season. Stay with us.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Sports Update. Sports has started, however, due to COVID, there have been new precautions and setbacks. Here today to talk about Evangel football and how it has affected them in the beginning of the season is Evangel's head football coach, Chuck Hepola. Thanks for being here with us today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for
So,
having me.
how has COVID affected the team so far regarding your practices?
Well, I mean, it's, to be quite honest, it's a constant change every day. And I mean, obviously you've got guys that are quarantined and so forth. And so we just have to be on our toes. And there's times when we've had to adjust the amount of time we're out on the field. We've had to adjust even when we're out on the field. And so it's been definitely an interesting time, but you know, our players have been very resilient. Our coaching staffs have been very resilient. And I've told people, I think during this COVID time, I mean, if we actually use it wisely, we'll probably get a little smarter, because I look back on some of the things we're doing now and I'm going, you know, why did we not do that before anyway? So, you know, you look at it from a positive perspective and just see what happens.
That's awesome. So, like, is there a limit on how many players can practice together, or how does that work?
Well, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, our sport it's got more social distancing than what you even realize, but it's because, you know, really every football plays on average, you got anywhere from 6 to 12 seconds long. And of course, you know, you look at all the social distancing, stay away from somebody for 6 feet for 15 minutes and all those things. And so, yeah, there is definitely, you know, obviously collisions there, because obviously it's a contact sport, but we do our best to try to make sure that everybody's social distance. And we actually we're one of the very few football teams I know that are wearing masks out there. We're actually practicing in masks.
Oh, wow.
So our guys are wearing masks, and we have masks that are approved by the NCAA. And so we've got guys with ski masks, and then also their mask on there, and then they have their own water bottles. And there's just a lot of different things that we've had to do to make sure that they're safe out there, and obviously play a game that they've all wanted to play their entire life. So so it's been interesting, but it's also been challenging and fun. Everything rolled into one.
For sure. So, what are your thoughts on the team so far? Like, what's your outlook for them?
Well, again, you know, we're preseason in the top 25, so should have another solid year. Of course, I'll be honest with you, it's going to be interesting from week to week what your depth chart looks like, because obviously with the COVID in the past, we've obviously adjusted a depth chart if a kid maybe got injured in practice or injured on the field, but now obviously you've got a COVID element where literally we talk about personnel and staff meetings every day, but we literally talk about personnel and staff meetings every day, because more than ever, because you've got to keep track of who's going to be out there, who's going to be available. And so it's going to be an interesting year and for every school. And so you never know from week to week who's going to be playing.
Yeah. So, what's your ultimate goal for the season, do you think?
You know, our ultimate goal every year is first and foremost. I mean, we're obviously a Christ-centered university, so we want to represent Christ in everything that we do, and we want to be a very well-disciplined football team. We want to make sure that people can see that we have an excellent product out there, and then we want each individual, coaches included, to be the very best version of themselves on that particular play. And when you do those things, then obviously wins come. I think there's too many people that focus on winning and losing, and we just focus on being the very best that you can do. Perfect your individual job, perfect whatever it is that you do, and you'll be great. I tell people we strive to be like the Chick-fil-A of college football. You know, I mean, they seem to have it figured out.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think anybody could dispute that. And so we kind of have that same attitude. Let's just try to, whatever your job is, that you do the very best you can at it and perfect it, and then from there the wins will come.
That's awesome. So, are the players getting tested regularly? Like, and does that affect who can play, obviously?
Well, the players have all been tested, and then you know, then from now on, what will happen is if somebody has symptoms, then they'll be tested. So,
okay.
And you know, obviously in a perfect world, we'd like to consistently test the guys over and over again, but obviously the expense on that is extreme. And so, so now if a young man does have symptoms, then we'll test them, and then also anybody involved that was around that particular student athlete, they'll also get tested as well. So yeah, it's again. I have normal staff meeting in the morning that we have, and then we have a midday staff meeting that we talk about, all of our injuries and even COVID-related things. And so we are constantly, talking about these guys and staying on top of it. And it's been interesting. It's been definitely interesting.
It's definitely something new to have to deal with.
Oh my goodness, it's you just you look back and you appreciate. I think this is my 29th year of doing this.
Oh, wow.
And so for 28 years, I haven't had to experience any of this. And so for this 1 year, obviously we're experiencing something unique and different. And, again, I'm just going to look at it positive. We're going to all be smarter for it if we actually utilize the things that we've learned from it, and, not to sit around and just be negative about everything that's going on in our life. And we'll be smarter for it.
Well, that's a great outlook you have on it. So what are your thoughts on the upcoming game this weekend?
Yeah, we play Culver Stockton, and Culver Stockton there's two divisions. We've got the North Division, the South Division. We're in the South, they're in the North, so we all play crossover games right now. So all the South Division is playing the North Division teams. And they're one of the teams that are chosen to win their side of the bracket. Really, there's two teams on the North, which would be Grandview and obviously Culver Stockton. And then there's three teams in the South that actually have got votes to win, which will actually be Benedictine, us, and then my mind just went blank on the Baker. Baker would be the third team. And so obviously a lot of those teams are going to play head to head, and we're playing Culver, who's a very good team. We beat them the last few years here, but they're very much improved. They've got 33 seniors returning.
Oh, wow.
So if you know anything about football, that's what you want. You want a lot of seniors like that. And all these 33 seniors have played since their freshman year. So we've been fortunate to beat them the last 3 years, but again, I mean, you've got a lot of young men that play a lot of games on Saturday, so it'll be a great test for them and a great test for us, and we're looking forward to playing them.
For sure. So how many seniors are on the Evangel team?
We have roughly about 20.
Okay.
So ours isn't, and we're to the point now where we basically average about 20 seniors a year, which is really good, for us. And what people don't understand is some of these teams that we play will have 200 guys on the team. I mean, we have roughly 125.
Gotcha.
So if you actually do the math, 20 for each group, I mean, that's pretty solid. So having that amount of seniors is something we're very glad to be able to have that many.
Well, that's good. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, anytime. Coming up, we'll look at the most impactful college and professional games from the weekend. Stay tuned.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Notre Dame battled with Duke in their season opener on Saturday and ended up gaining a win for their first official conference game in the ACC. Notre Dame's new starting running back, Kyron Williams, rushed 112 yards with 2 touchdowns, catching 2 passes for 93 additional yards. Duke only averaged 2.4 yards per carry in the game. Clemson versus Wake Forest played on Saturday night, and Clemson defeated Wake Forest 37-13 for their season opener. Clemson's quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, completed 22 of 28 passes for 351 yards and combined for 3 touchdowns. Clemson's running back, Travis Etienne, ran 102 yards and a touchdown. The Tigers have now won 12 straight games against the Demon Deacons.
It was a great week to be a Louisiana Lafayette fan as the Ragin' Cajuns rolled into Ames, Iowa and stunned the then number 23 Iowa State Cyclones this past weekend. Special teams played a key role in this game for the Ragin' Cajuns as Chris Smith took a kickoff 95 yards to the house in the second quarter, and Eric Guerrer did the same on an 83-yard punt return early in the fourth quarter to put ULL up by 2 scores. The Ragin' Cajuns beat the Cyclones by a score of 31-14, which gave them a win over a top 25 team on the road for the first time in their program's history. ULL will look to move to 2-0 in their next matchup against Georgia State, while Iowa State will look to rebound against conference opponent TCU. In a year that looks different in many ways, there was a bit of normalcy this past Thursday night for Chiefs fans. The sight of quarterback Patrick Mahomes leading the Chiefs up and down the field has been a constant for Kansas City fans, and that trend continued in their matchup against the Houston Texans this week. Mahomes threw for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns, while rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran for 138 yards and a touchdown of his own, en route to a 34-20 victory. Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson was able to throw for 253 yards and a touchdown while rushing for another score. But he was under constant pressure and was sacked 4 times as protection from the offensive line continues to be a problem for the Texans. The Chiefs will look to double their win total as they take on a division rival in the Los Angeles Chargers, while the Texans will have another tough matchup against reigning NFL MVP Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
The Buccaneers lost to the Saints this past weekend 23-34, even with their new addition of Tom Brady to the team. Brady threw 2 interceptions and finished with 239 yards and 2 touchdowns. New Orleans tight end Garrett Cook caught 5 passes for 80 yards plus a 46-yard reception down the left side that set up Emmanuel Sanders' touchdown. Brady admitted that he has got to do a lot better job.
In the first ever game played in the brand new SoFi Stadium, the Los Angeles Rams faced the Dallas Cowboys in a matchup that proved to have some signature Hollywood drama in the end. After a controversial offensive pass interference call against the Cowboys' Michael Gallup, the Cowboys failed to convert on 4th and 20, and the Rams held on to win 20-17. The Rams' Malcolm Brown ran for a career-high 79 yards and 2 touchdowns, while the Cowboys' Ezekiel Elliott ran for 96 yards and caught a touchdown from Dak Prescott. The Rams' Jalen Ramsey played exceptionally well on defense and was a key factor in the win as he sold the contact on the pass interference call, which helped seal the victory.
Let's go ahead and check out what's coming up for the Crusader Sports this week. Our volleyball team will have their first home game Tuesday, September 15th versus Baker University here at home in the Ashcroft at 7 p.m. and then we'll go to Mid-America Friday the 18th for an away game at 7 p.m.
Our women's soccer team plays this Tuesday the 15th against Williams Baptist at 5:30 p.m. here in Springfield, Missouri.
And our football team will go for their first away game at Culver Stockton College this Saturday, September 19th at 12 p.m. Because there are no fans allowed at these games, you will be able to watch them at evangelathletics.com on live stream or just a few hours later if you don't have time to watch it live.
It's very exciting to have games this weekend and get to cheer on your friends and other students. A lot of the games had to be rescheduled and canceled in previous weeks, so it's important that you tune in and support your fellow students and friends.
Yes, all of the teams would love for you to just join in and watch one game. That's all the time we have today for Sports Update. I'm Madison Letterman.
And I'm Morgan Pagel. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.